Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Das ist gewaltig. Still a little hoarse from yesterday. We're here live in Borough Park, in a very, very special place, in the house of the Kaf house. They have in the basement, it's called MDY Cave. The Bachram come here every single day. What time? 9:15. From two different yeshivas. From Bob and from Mordechai. What's this speaker? No speaker. Yes, no speaker. All right. So it's a tremendous chus to be here. Spoke to the Bachram before. One of the only places in the world where Bachram come together, even though they have a full day of yeshiva, and a lot of times at night, it's easy to get involved in non-Torah things, even if it's stam. Go to the gym, play ball, schmooze in the dorm. They come together every single night at 9:15 to learn Torah. It's an unbelievable thing every single day. Very, very proud of them. A lot of them are from the Shaitel head people. The world knows them as the Shaitel head group. Bochum that learned through Ben Azmanim, every Tmidim Kisidron. So it's a schus to be here and to make the siyum on Masechta Zevachim, the first Masechta in Kachim. Tough Masechta, but we had a lot of fun doing it. Be'ezer Hashem, there's going to be a beautiful video. I'm telling you, you guys are going to like it a lot. Anybody here into rap? I didn't think so. That's going to make it even more interesting. You're going to have to wait a little bit. It's a super exciting daf because we're going to do a lot of chazara, a lot of the videos, a lot of the pictures. We're going to try to wrap up the whole Masechta, things that everybody knows already if you did the Masechta, into one shir. As this is the last day of Zevachim, so I have to reach out to my chaverim around the world and in the room and say, we have a chiyuv. When you see your friend, unlike, I used to take the subway in New York a lot, every day. I used to take the subway. I don't know if you were Zoicha, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens on the subway. And one of the things that I've seen a number of times, you see a guy who gets a heart attack, he falls down in the subway, on the train, and people just keep on walking around him, over him. I saw once on Ocean Parkway, I saw a bunch of people playing chess. They had these tables, I don't know if they still have it, chess tables on Ocean Parkway, they're playing chess. And one of the guys that was playing chess just fell over, knocks his head in the sidewalk, and he's lying there as though unconscious. I saw this with my own eyes. They looked over, they looked at him, okay, kept on going. The guy's lying over there, foam coming out of his mouth, gunish. They didn't even call nothing. I had to go calling out. What is that called? It's called Isamud al Dam Re'echa. You see your friend unconscious, you have to call out Tzala. It's a chiyuv. It's not, it's a nice thing. You have to do it. There are people that are unconscious physically, and there's people that are unconscious rochnius-wise. I'm here in the Hasidic house. I gotta talk, a little Hasidic zone. Ruchnius-wise. What do I mean by that? So many people. You see in Galat, you see married people, you see guys that went to yeshiva, you see Hasidic guys, Litvish guys, you see so thousands of them walking around looking for yesterday. They don't even know what's coming and going. All they care about is to make the dollar, to build a bigger house, a nicer car. And they forget where they are. They're unconscious, ruchnius-wise, and you gotta call Hatzalah right away. You gotta say, hey, we're starting another Masechta tomorrow. It's Menachos, it's gonna be Geshmak, it's gonna wake up your neshama. It's our chiyuv. It's not like, it's a nice thing. If it helps you and you know somebody that it helped, because it helps so many people. We heard yesterday, Ariel is walking around for hours. He can't even talk. He's hoarse from hearing. He became hoarse from listening to all those stories. You ever heard of such a thing? I'm not making this up. Go ask him. He had paper like this of this guy that was, he wasn't putting on tefillin. Chassidish bucher I'm talking about. Chassidish Ingelait, one after another. This guy wasn't from for this amount of years. This guy wasn't putting on tefillin. This guy this, this guy that. This guy was very from, but he hated Gemara. One story after another, and how the shir, how through the daf, his whole life turned around. So what right do you have when you have a friend and you know a guy in shul, and it could be older than you, it could be your friend's father. Say, listen, walk over to him nicely, respectfully. Say, listen, I could give you something that'll mamish help you out. If you don't do it, it's our chiyuv. So you pick up the phone, you call your uncle, you tell your father about it, because a lot of your fathers are not learning a word. I know. You don't have to be embarrassed. It's a fact. It's not. You're not the only one out there. You say, listen, I'm enjoying it. I want you to learn. And a lot of fathers, when they hear that they can make a connection with their son through the daf, they jump on. You say, listen, our relationship is not the best in the world. We're going to have a better relationship now by doing the daf. And the father to the son, and a son to the father, and brother to brother. And like this, we'll bring more and more people to Torah. We have 45,000 people that are doing it every day, and it's nothing. We could get to 400,000 people if we put it, but we need people. What's the name of the bus driver, Nachamol? Kasriel. We need another Kasriel, another. All right. So let me just read a couple of emails here real quickly. Rebelli, dilemma. How do you create the warm personal connection and camaraderie of a shir with 5 or 10 members in a shir of 40,000 plus? How do you make it geschmack? Yes. When you have a shir of 5 people, it's okay, you can schmooze with every person, but at 40,000, how do you do it? Solution, the MDY Shabbaton. This is Shabbaton. I say like this, Rabbi said, listen, he's not going to like it, but I'm going to throw it out there. You go over to Rabbi Kaf right after the shir, you say, listen, I'll make a deal with you. I'm going to learn 365 days. I'm going to miss 4 days out of the 365 of Zehu. But if I do it, you bring me to the Shabbaton next year. I didn't ask him. I don't know. That's a little bit of chutzpah on my part. Ask him. He might say no. He might say yes. I don't know. You have nothing to lose. He's it. You have no idea. It's life changing. It's going to make you a different person. And Be'ez Hashem, Rabbi Kaf himself and his ganze mishpuch is going to be there, and I'll see what I'm talking about. So the Shabbaton is sold out already. It's sold out without them. We're going to have to go to a bigger place. I don't know what we're going to do. And we'll figure it out. It might be New York. I don't know, because it might have to do with the Sima Shas. It's very close. It's like we don't know what to do yet. Okay. So he says like this. Solution, Nemdiwai Shabbaton. This year Shabbaton combined the inspiration of Yom Neroim. I like this email. Describes it a little bit. This year Shabbaton combined the inspiration of Yom Neroim, the enthusiastic dancing of Simchas Torah, the dedicated Torah study of Shavuos, the elaborate festive meals of Pesach, and the unabashed fun of Purim, with the intimacy of a family simcha. You hear that? Even for those who are unable to attend, seeing the pictures and video clips and hearing about it from you enables everyone to feel united under the banner of MDY, as we anticipate and prepare together for the speedy arrival of Mashiach Tzidkenu B'meher V'Yomeinu. Amen. Your devoted Talmud since Soito, Dr. Meir Wickler. Next, one more, and that's pretty much it. Dear Rebelli, I'm writing this with a heart overflowing. I've been part of MDY since Baba Basra Daf Beis, but the impact it has had on my life cannot be measured in dapim or days. I came the very first Shabbaton broken and shaken. My child had choked and suffered an anoxic brain injury. Our home turned into a hospital room overnight. Machines, nurses. My son ended up with a trachea. I walked into Shabbaton desperate for oxygen for the neshama. To be honest, I felt out of place. At the time, I was a Rebbe in Yeshiva Darchei Torah. You heard of Darchei Torah? It might be the biggest yeshiva in the world. Over 2,000 Talmidim. I don't know, is there a larger yeshiva than that? I don't know. No. What? It's the biggest elementary school in the world. In Farakaway. My son ended up, okay, we said this. I was used to giving shiurim, not sitting in the back listening to one. I always thought of myself as a shtickle Talmud Chacham, someone who didn't need to hear a prepared cheer. But then I saw the achtos, the warmth, the way every Yid, no matter his background, was welcomed, embraced, lifted, and something inside me broke open in the most beautiful way. I didn't come to get hooked. I came because I needed chizuk. I became obsessed. Anyone who knows me knows that MDY became my heartbeat. He gave me life in moments when I felt like I had none left. When nights were long and nurses came and went and machines kept beeping. Ari, you can relate to this.
I know who he is. It's the guy that was dancing.
Yeah. It was your share that gave me strength. It was the chevra that held me up. It was the jokes and the emails. It was the feeling that I'm part of a mission so holy that it reaches places no other chabura reaches. 2 full years later, after the third Shabbaton, I write these words with tears on my face. Tears of gratitude, tears of healing, tears of joy that I had the schus to become part of something I never realized I needed so badly. I recently left being a Rebbe for the first time in a long time. I have space in my life, time that I want to fill with purpose, with Torah, with MDY. I love to get involved in any way you see fit. I have a lot to offer, and even more than that I want to give back. MDY literally changed my life. It gave me chiyus when my world was collapsing. It taught me that no one is too big and no one is too small. That in MDY, there's no age and no chashivas. Anyone who wants to be part of it is welcome with open arms. Thank you for creating a family that has carried me through the darkest nights. Thank you for giving me the one place where my heart feels held. Thank you for giving me hope with endless gratitude and emotion. Your true Talmud, Yaakov Levitin. Huh? You signed them up and you signed Kisriel up. So Lamaisa, you're all sitting in this room in a shtick away because of the Paris Chaim Levin. So you could be the next Paris Chaim Levin. You could bring, you never know that person that you bring, who he is, and what kind of impact he could have on the world. Y'all. I got wheels here, so be careful. I'm very excited about this video, everybody, because everybody I showed it to, from kids to adults.
Shalom. Have a good one.
No, okay, we gotta go from the beginning. Let me do it.
I'm here in the parking lot by the MDY Shabbaton, and look what the guard has to tell me.
You don't have to be Jewish to enjoy Shabbos Akdus. You're having a wonderful time here with beautiful people and a wonderful culture. Shalom. Have a good one.
Shabbos Achdus. Oh no. Okay, you shut me off over there. You did that? Yeah, okay, cool. MDY Tveria. Boys, you know what's cool? About a year ago, we didn't have any satellite locations. And within a year, we have 30 locations in Eretz Yisrael and many locations now popping up here and there all over the United States. We have in Phoenix and Los Angeles. Los Angeles we have every day. In Phoenix we have whenever the clock is right. But you're coming in the ground like mamish in the beginning when they start a company, you know what I mean? And who knows where this could lead. And by doing what you're doing, you're giving chizuk to people all over the world, especially here in America. And Be'ez Hashem, when it's more and more matzliach, more and more people will do it. More yeshivas will speak to their yeshiva and take a note. More camps. Because at the end of the day, this is what Bachrim want. And it mamish helps learning and it helps you develop to understand how to learn Gemara. Even Iyun, it helps for Iyun. Because when you have a lot of Yediyas in Shas, it makes Iyun much easier. What else do we have here? These are different places, I guess. Huh? Lutz, famous Lutz shul in Yerushalayim, next to the wall there. This is in Haifa. Wow, look at that. The beautiful apple. You're able to see it? MDY apple, Mazel Tov. What's this phone number over there? This is where you order the apple? Beitar. Hold on, let's see. Oh, they have this chart. They mark it off. You have it also? Look at that. The Kippas Ruga, white Kippas Ruga with the Hasid Shahid. I'm telling you, it's Kishmak. I know. The Doilam doesn't even know the Kippas Ruga guys. Oh. So if you don't know what happened, who knows what happened with Aliyah on Shabbos? You guys don't know? No. There's a guy from Lakewood. His name is Meyer Fischel. You'll see this Gemara that you have. He donated the whole Shas. So Be'ez Hashem, we're going to put out the whole Shas. He got up there on Shabbos. There's a guy selling Aliyahs. Reb Nachman Seltzer, the famous Reb Nachman Seltzer, wrote 50 books. Sold Aliyahs. It was very nice. $20,000, $30,000 worth of Aliyahs and stuff. There's a few rules I got to say. Everybody's doing a favor, no schmoozing with each other. And try not to speak on your phone during share. Just want to have a few mishigasin. It's a lot of people are going to be watching this and they hear you schmoozing. They hear, if you don't mind. But anyway, real quick, how much time are we already into? Into? Okay, we got to hurry up over here. Real quickly, so what happened was, Meyer Fischel got up there, like Shishi, and he said, I want to sell an Aliyah for a belly, but I want everybody to pitch in. And it went, one guy said, okay, I'll give $10,000. That's how it started off. And then other guy said 500, 1,000, 500, went up to 20, 30, 40, 50. And then it started stalling out. And then, what's his name? That ran around the whole place over there? Shuli Wasserthal. Ran around and we got another guy, another 1,000. You're not going to believe this. They got it all the way. I'm making the whole story. And the oil was having so much fun. They were getting excited because this guy was giving that guy and everybody was into it. I've never seen so many people. When they sell Aliyahs, people get, oh, hey, no, let's go. That was geschmack to see that they could get up to a certain number. They got to $150,000. And then the guy comes over and says, I want to make it 180. And they got to $180,000 for one Aliyah. One Aliyah. The problem is that a lot of people have very, very big hearts and but then they forget. They partially forget. No, they don't do it. So that's why we're putting this thing out there. Well, if you happen to donate money, a lot of people, some people paid today. One guy paid 20,000, 18,000, 4,000, right? The little guys, the 1,000, this, that. One guy, Rav Kaf, listen to this. A guy gave $500, and then I saw him get up, and he looking around, and he asked Benny or somebody. He goes, "If I give another $500, can I pay it off in a year, every month, $50 a month or something, like a whole?" It was unbelievable, and he gave $1,000 total. A young guy. So it was beautiful. That was one of the highlights of Shabbos. Then somebody gave me a $250,000 gift in the middle of a speech. Yoel Gold, the famous Rabbi Yoel Gold, gave me a $250,000 gift. I'm going to tell you the story a different time. You're going to have to tune in for a different day. It's a big story. But Kitsi gave me a little vial of, which he claims it's vial of real Ketores that they found from the time of the Beis HaMikdash. Not from a Klisharis exactly, so it didn't have the Kedusha yet, but it had the 11 Samamonim, from real labs here in America. Somebody offered him $250,000. That's why he said it's a $250,000 gift. I'm looking, he's talking about and explaining where they found it and how they found it and how they tested it and how the Israelis shut it down. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, I wish I had that. I wish I could have some of that Keter. So it'd be so geschmack if I could show it in cheer one day. And all of a sudden he turns around in front of her and says, and I want to give this. It's not to you, Rebelli, it's the Klal Yisrael. And he gives it to me. Like I started crying on the spot. Pasha started crying. Anyways, it was a Shuna de Shabbos. Be'ez Hashem, next year you'll be Zoicha. Can't promise the same thing. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meiri. He made a nice donation on Shabbos, David Salomon, and he already paid. Swiped the credit card. My official credit card, swiped everything he owed, everything. And then Tzvi Pinzel swiped his credit card, paid up. It's people, the mamish. And there's people that forget. Don't forget. It's not a good thing to promise and not pay. Dedicated in memory of Avi Meiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zichron Levracha. Anonymous. This is a Masechta sponsor leadership. This is the last day, Rabbi Yisai. All these Masechta sponsors, we have to say it nice and have kavana. Lili Nishmas Doidi, my uncle, Shlomi Yehuda Zichron Levracha ben Shmuel Chaim Zichron Levracha. Shokad v'lomat koshim kol chayav. This guy spent $9,000 for his uncle. Anonymous. L'zeicha Nishmas Nochem Tzvi ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, who was at the Shabbaton, and Shamshi Shlarfak, who was at the Shabbaton, was Meir Kovacs, who flew in from Eretz Yisrael. 45 people flew in from Eretz Yisrael. You have the number 45 people. And there's already a Shabbaton in Eretz Yisrael. They flew in for the devotion to Torah studying this year. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous. Hatzlacha, Beruchnius, Begashmius. He asked me not to call him the cheetah sponsor. So Be'ezer Hashem, from today on, I'm not going to call him the cheetah sponsor. Shkoyach cheetah sponsor. He sponsored another two Masechtas, the cheetah sponsor? I'm not going to call him anymore the cheetah sponsor. Ariel Simon, Refuah Shleima, Avi Meiri, Baruch ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, which we're going to see tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem in Toronto. Refuah Shleima, Esther Bas Luna. Esther Walkenstein, Mazel Tov to my husband, Kalman with Natana Walkenstein on his 40th birthday. Anonymous, Brochad B'lidai, Tzvi Nisim ben Shoshana Lev, Yud ben Yom ben Chava. I promise the women, whoever comes is going to have an unbelievable time. And I heard from so many women, and so did Yossi, and so did Mark, that Charlene Arminov, if you ever heard of her, her daughter drowned. And they pulled her out, and it looked like she's going to die. And the mother stood there, and she said, Rebbeinu Shloilem, if you save my child, I'm going to cover my hair. I'm going to wear sheitel. And somehow, I don't remember the whole Maisa, the nace happened, and she saved. We saw the girl, she came for Shabbos, and she started wearing a sheitel, and she became famous, and she goes around the world darshaning how you have to wear a sheitel, and she sells sheitels, and she's an unbelievable speaker. The women were in a different world. And we had a cooking show, and they were doing cooking competition when the guys were learning. We did the daf. They had a whole cooking thing, and they had judges, and they loved it. If your wife is nervous about going next year, trust me, she didn't like it more than you. If we're Shleiman Naftali Heretz ben Henya Leah, hidden tzaddik in our generation, anonymous in memory of Mazel Bat Leah Besanada and his Iskia. Connovations LLC, you should thank to Eli Geller and Tzvi Spira for saving our Shabbos experience with you. Chesed, West Hampton Chevra, in memory of our beloved Marad Asher, Rabbi Yehuda Kellemer, Zeich Tzaddik Gevar upon his 50th yard site. Eli Geller brought in 10 people to the shir. There's a guy, Tzvi Pinzel, who brought 60 people so far to Menachas, and he's trying to get to 100. He has a famous status, and people that have influence, like Ari Chaimowitz, and people with statuses, they're able to bring so many people to Torah. The Schusim are in the Shire. Moshe Kuf, in memory of Moshe ben Avram Moshe. They added Shinu Shem when his father was sick, who I am named after. Here. His father was Avram, and they added the name Moshe. And then his father was Nifter, and they called him after his father Moshe. Wow. Okay, I think that's what it means here. I don't know. If you have different pshat, explain it to me. Zaideran Kagan. L'zeicha nishmas, is that how you pronounce it? Right? Oh, Zaydiran. It's two words. Zaydiran Kagan. L'zeicha nishmas, Reisel Bas Alter Shlomo Zelig.
It's the three generations. It's 8 of the three generations that learn the Daf Yomi.
The three generations. Joseph Strulovich. Yosef Pinchas ben Chava, Sorchana Bas Basha Adas, Brocha V'Hatzlocha. Daddy, are we going to learn today? Wow. Daddy and Mommy Katz, I don't know how they pronounce it, in honor of Chaim Aaron Katz, Gates, it would be gewaldig if English had Nakudas. It would be a lot easier for me. In honor of Chaim. By the way, you guys know I went to Minkach, I went to Stalin, and I went to Sker Beisitzchak. Not the real Sker, the fake one, the Litvische one. Finishing Shas today. Wow, Rabbi, I hear this in honor of Chaim Aaron Katz from Gates. Finishing Shas today, 7.5 years with Reb Eli. Unbelievable. Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Avi Kamiansky finished Shas with me. It's unbelievable, schos. And here's another person. Goldstein, Graber, and Schnall families for the murder of Refuah Shleima for Gila Brocha Bas Michal Ilano. Eli Cohen, Refuah Shleima for my mother, Pearl Bas Rivka, Mrs. Pearl Cohen from Toronto. Pini Osreich in memory of Zissel Bas Yeshua Osreich Allah Shalom Yertzach of Gimel Tevis. Tzvi Spiro. Happy birthday, Izzy. You're gonna have to read the last.
You're on your own with that one. It's a son-in-law.
Send Shu says whatever. Daf since Brochus. I'm gonna have to learn his name if he goes on the cruise with us. Anonymous. The Rashiv is getting antsy here. It's like, what is going on here with these sponsorships? Anonymous, Yosef ben Chai Sorah for Baros Berevach, Refuah Shleima Yonatan Eitem ben B'Sheva Bracha, Refuah Shleima Mordechai ben Esther, Refuah Zayela Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther. Boy, say here we go. Sorry, it's just I'm so excited to be here in this house. It's Meshiga. We're holding like 25 lines from the bottom of Kuf Yutesam and Beis. Veilu Kachem Nusugi. We're discussing. So let me just show you what we have here. Not in any particular order. Here, let's call this. What is this called? Rabbi says, is this a mizbeach? What is this? Bama. What kind of bama? Gdoilo ktana. Ktana. Why is it ktana? Because it's in backyard. Get out of here. Sit down. He knows too much, this guy. So we learned that on a bama ktana, there's certain things that you don't do. You don't need certain things that you need on a real mizbeach. Smicha. How do you know you don't need smicha? What's smicha, Rabbi said? Remember smicha? What's smicha? Huh? You didn't learn the sugya, so you don't know. Smicha is when you put your weight. You're supposed to like lean on the animal, yeah? Smicha. I told you we're gonna go through a lot. We're doing chazar now. What, you guys never saw this before? You must be new here. This is old stuff. We're just doing chazaras. You don't have to do that in your backyard. Only if it's in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, do you have to do smicha. Shchidas tzafon. What's shchidas tzafon? You have to shecht. You see the mizbeach over here? So if you do kachim, you can only shecht in the green area. With kachim kalim, you can shecht also in the purple area. In the northern part, it's for kachim. So when it comes to a bama, we don't have that. Even if you shecht in kachim, unless you bring a oila, you can do it also in the purple area, not only in the green. Back? Zoid? Okay. Once again, the idea of tzafon, of north, is only when you do it in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on the main mizbeach. Matanos. Matana, what does matana mean? A gift. Not a ketores from your gold, but something like this. We're doing chazar on the whole thing. Matana. The kohen goes and does zrikas hadam. What is this called? What kind of zrika is this, Rabbi Yisai? Anybody know? Shtayim shein arba. He hits one corner, but it's actually two. The chsiv is zarak al mizbeach sovev. The zrika is only on the real mizbeach. You don't have to do zrika on your backyard. Bama. Tenufa. What's tenufa? Anybody know tenufa? Huh? This is tenufa. You take the chazav shaykh and you do like a lulav. Lulav is learned from this. You have to do back, forth. One day when Mashiach comes, we'll see exactly if it's like the Hasidim or like the Litvaks. You guys, I don't know, it's very hard to be Hasidish because you have to do this way. That if you Litvish, it's very easy. You start over here in front of you and you just go in a circle. That's it. You have this way, that way, I don't know. So you're going to see. One day we'll see. I told you. Ha ha. Weiter. What else do we have here? The Tnufa is only in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in other words, in the Mizbeach, in the Beis HaMikdash. Hagasha, this is worth 10,000 points. What's Hagasha? Anybody? You're not part of the Shaitel Heads? Get out of here. I'm not listening to you. You don't have the right to answer. Anybody from the Shaitel Heads knows? What's Hagasha, huh? You're from the Shaitel Heads? Hagasha is to touch the Mizbeach. I don't know if we have a picture or not. Probably, yeah. Let's see, maybe this one, I'm guessing. Oh, this is she, right? Oh, yeah, this is Hagasha. You touch the corner of the Mizbeach, Hagasha. That's only on the main Mizbeach, the Sivi, Gisho El Mizbeach. Next sugi, Rabbi Yehuda ein mincha bebama. You don't bring, what's a mincha? That's what we're about to learn, a whole Masechta. A mincha is, you bring flour, you pour a little oil, after, we're going to see the whole thing, you put a little levina. This is your present Hashem. Rav Yehuda says there's no mincha b'bama. Says Rav Sheshes, if you hold there is a mincha b'bama, yesh oifais b'bama. Then you could shecht a bird. What kind of bird do you shecht on a bama? If you're allowed to shecht a bird, does it have to be dafka, a pigeon, like in the Beis HaMikdash, or you could shecht a chicken also? You could shecht a chicken also. There's no limit to the type of birds. If you hold there's no mincha b'bama, ein oifais b'bama. They're connected. A mincha and a bird are connected. Why? Because it says in the Torah, Zevachim. Zevachim means like a carbon. It has to be an animal, not a mincha. And memela, Zevachim means an animal. An animal, not a bird. The kohen. You don't need a kohen on a bama. Even a Yisrael could do davoida. Anybody here a kohen? I can't believe it. From the entire room, not a single kohen? You're not part of the room. Yeah, you are. What's your name? Moshe Cohen? What's for kohen are you? Made up. He used to do that avodah? I used to be cats. You see that? I get chapped right away. It's a made up name. Cats makes sense. Cats is a kohen. So in the whole room, we have like 50 people there, and there's only one kohen. Unbelievable. Anybody b'char? Who's a b'char? Oh, that's it. We have a bunch of b'char. There's many more b'charis than kohen. D'chsev v'zorach hakohen. So Nachamol, this is a zrika in front of Hashem, so that the kohen we need it in front of Hashem, and a bomb in the backyard. You don't need a kohen. Big day sharas, the fancy clothes that a kohen wears. I don't think we have. Oh, here, even this picture right over here is the begodim that a kohen wears. It says the sharas b'kodesh. That's only when you in Beis HaMikdash. Uklei sharas. The special kelim. You see, he's holding. What is he holding? A golden kli. Asher yishor sumbam b'kodesh. One of the gifts I got. People gave me very nice gifts. One of the gifts I got is a Rebbe's. It's like one of these cups that the Rebbe's drink tea out of. So my official got it from me. I drink water from it. It's Shem Yirachem. It has like even a tea cover, like this fancy. It's made out of silver, you know, in the glass. You're gonna see it already. So I have a brighter. I have to drink it from it now every day, until one of the guests comes, and that happens every other day. They knock over my cup. It's gonna be there. Boom. So we're gonna have to figure out how to make sure that it doesn't move. That's a klei. I'm just saying these are Rebbe's things, and the Beis Hamikdash is much more. It's made out of gold. Anybody ever see a golden becher over here? Gold becher. There's a guy we met in Austria, a Hasidic guy here from Borough Park. I don't know his name. He has the Atara made out of gold. His glasses are gold. His filling cover is made out of gold. It has a Michigana amount of antique svarim in his house. Something crazy. The siddur from the best and the this from the, I don't know. I'm just making it up, but whatever. So when I did Agalas Kelim, when I was a bacher, a woman showed up with 6 golden bechers for the Pesach Seder. 6. She wanted me to do Agalas Kelim. Each one is who knows. Zogti Gemara. So it's beautiful that we're finishing off the Masechta, going through all these musagim. I know there's people in this room that never heard about Agosha. Tonight is the first time they heard about this concept called Agosha. If you're one of those people that never heard about Agosha before, raise your hand. You don't have to be embarrassed. See that? Agosha. What does Agosha mean? You bring it, like in this picture over here, you touch the flour onto the Mizbeach. What corner? Watch, Yisrael Goldstein knows. Which corner? Very good, southwest corner. Reach nichayach. What does reach nichayach mean? Reach nichayach, a geschmack yadayach. What does it mean? That you're not allowed to put the meat, everything that goes on the mizbeach has to be fresh. Like you put it on for the first time, psst, and it makes that smell. If you put it on the grill first, you're not allowed to put. You don't put it on the mizbeach. Reach nichayach. You don't need this geschmack. You don't need to do that on a bama. Mechitza b'domim. What's a mechitza b'domim? So we could go back to this picture over and over because look at this. This has everything in it. You see that red line? What goes above the red line? What blood goes above the red line? Anybody remember? Kemat, right? What he meant to say is, achatos goes above and oilas hoiv. Yeah? You asking now to me? Not bad. But it's not bad. It's a good mistake. It means you're very, you're in the nyanim. That this red line is only on a mizbeach, not on a bama. You have to, what's his name? Weisberg? A tzaddik of a mensch that took him months of work. He made a kiyar and water was flowing out of it in the lobby, this big. And he made a mizbeach. I'm not exaggerating. The width of this table up to like half of this table, the mizbeach. Mishiga big. You know how much work that is to make it out of wood and exactly with it's the size. And lechem aponim, shulchan. We're going to bring it to Ramat Bet Shemesh Beis Hashem. And mizbeach hazav, this big, gold with intricate, unbelievable. So you made a kiyar. You have to wash your hands. That's only in the mizbeach in the Beis Hamikdash. L'chsiv ubekarvasam el mizbeach yirchatzu. Yivaldi. Omar Romi Bar Chama, we have here a sugi of like 8 lines until the bottom of this Amud. This red line that we just saw, that's only that you don't need Achot HaSikra, is by when you makriv a carbon, let's say a oil on a Bamaktana, you makdish it for your backyard, and you actually put it onto the mizbech in your backyard. If you designated it, what does it mean? You said, I'm going to bring this carbon on my backyard. And then you said, you know what, forget it. Let me bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. No. Now you'd have to bring the oil. Stop. Let me ask him. No, so where do you bring the oil of blood? Below the line. You hear that? You have to bring it below the line. You'd have to put it below the red line. Moisev Rabbah, so we have a Bam Kasha. It says Chosev Eshoik. We saw the picture of the Chosev Eshoik. We'll show it again. I have no idea what these things are. We have a lot of stuff here. Okay. Chosev Eshoik, yeah? The thigh and the breast. Utrumas lachmi toida. When you bring 40 breads, you bring a mincha of 40. When a nace happens, today we say goimel. You fly to Eretz Yisrael, a lot of people say goimel. Person comes out of jail, you should not know about it. You say goimel. A person has a machla. A person has a car accident. You say goimel. The time of the Gemara and time of the Beis Hamikdash, you bring a carbon to the Rebbeinu Shloim and you bring 40 breads. But from the 40, 10% has to go to the Kohen. How much is 10% from 40? Let's see if the Chassidim know. The Shlacht. 4 out of the whole Olam here knew the answer. Sorry. It says Mefurish noagim bekotche b'magdala. What's kotche? That you designated it. Now the point over here is that they were designated it. Mashma, that even if he brought it afterwards to the b'magdala, to the main mizbeach, it's still you don't have to put it below the above the line and below the line. The point is bekotche bama, that when you magdish it, that's the nekuda. Says Gemara, you're right. Let's take out the word magdish, bekotche. We're going to take out the word kotche, so there's no hagdosha. There's nothing to do. The nekuda is not where you magdish it. It's whether this belongs in the bama ketana or bama gdoila. Ikadamri omeru mechama. This chut sikra only applies by someone who designated a bama gdoila and who's makri bama gdoila. It's all gdoila. If somebody designated in a bama ketana, forgot the kavinu bama gdoila. Eichitzu says mefurish that that's how he starts off his halacha. That if you designate it, so this fits in with the brisa. That if you designate it in a bama ketana, then even if you brought it later on to a bama gdoila, there's no red line and not red line. Perhaps it's proof. Here, the chazav shaykh noagim kachi bama gdoila, noagim kachi bama ketana. It says mefurish that if you designate in a bama gdoila, then you have a red line. But if you designate in a bama ketana, even if you brought it later on to a bama gdoila, there's no red line. So it's a good raya. Sigmar says no. Same thing as we said before. We're going to use it as a kilu for carrot. We're going to take out the word agdashe. There's no designation. There's a minhag to use a red line on a big bama, a public bama, but there's no red line on a private bama. And this argues on Rabbi Lazar. If I brought a oila in my private backyard and then I brought it into the Beis Hamikdash, the big Beis Hamikdash or the larger bama grabs it, and now you have to treat it like a regular Beis Hamikdash carbon. Why? You have to go above the red line or below the red line. Depends if it's oila below the red line. Okay, we're done with that sugya. By Reb Zera, oila is bamas yachid. If somebody brings a oila in a private bama, so it went from private, one daf kuf chof, 120, bis 120. That's it, we're done, that's it. What do you tell somebody on his 120th birthday? Have a nice day. Very nice. Givaldi. You know about these are old ones. But this guy looks at his wife, he says, you should live till 119. So she's 119, if I've listened to 120. He says, give me at least 1 year peace, All right, so 120 daf, 100 is not 120 daf, 119 daf. Yeah. I heard you have a connection in it to this yeshiva. It's emes? Mamish? You know this guy as a shaykhis? Really? Put it all together. Psh. Wow. Nachas, look at this. Huh? You signed him up also? There's one guy, you know, it could be you signed up all these people. There's one person you didn't sign up. Me. So you can fakoif me lokshin and everybody. Rav Bleich, he really signed you up? No? It's not. How did he find you? Wow. Wow. It's crazy. No, seriously, boys, we have to learn from him. This guy has a regular job in, what is it called, Nachamol? Goldman Sachs. Big company. He sits outside like a homeless person without a busha. Outside of a store, he could sit outside of a KRM, with a sign. Hey, come, do the daf. And people look at him, he sits in a mikveh, he'll sit in Landau Shul. I'm not joking, with a sign. At his own daughter's wedding, sitting and asking guests to sign up. Why? Because he knows that each person he signs up is millions and millions of schusim. It's ein l'shar. No busha. You could talk about it and say, yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. But let him do it, not me. I'm telling you, you could also do it. He must be socially off. No. He's a regular guy from, they don't take socially off people in Goldman Sachs. Vice president, the guy, no. Listen, vice president, he sits and he does it. Yeah. Zok the Gemara. Where are we holding? How much time are we already in? 40 minutes? It says by me 50. It's a mistake, it's really 40? With the kailo. So here's the shaila. Rabbi Yisai. You have a oila that you did in your backyard, but then you brought it inside to the Beis HaMikdash, into the Bama Gdoila, we call it, not Beis HaMikdash, into the Bama Gdoila. But then, no, I want to bring it back to my house. Mao. What's that Allah? Do we say that that's it? The mechitzas of the Bama Gdoila grab it and they hold on to it and they make it like a carbon that belongs on a communal mizbeach, or dilma kivin the hadar, or perhaps no, you take it out, you put it back in, it went back to the private, so it's private. Says Gemara Lavanu Plukto, the Rabbi Rav Yosef. It seems like a similar machlokes that we had before. The what? It's not. I'm excited. I got to show this video. I got to get there already. Come on, help me out here. I want to show it. I'm telling you guys, are gonna love it. It's gonna be gewaldig. Okay. The Rashiv is not going to like it. Too bad. We're going to like it over here. Coach, I'm going to watch him while we watch him. He's going to love it? Really? How do you know? He doesn't like, I don't know. He doesn't know what rap is, B'chlal. He knows what rap is. It's not rap. What do they call it today? Hip hop. You guys know what hip hop is? They're looking at me. These guys might not like it. I don't know. I think they're going to like it. They're going to like it. Okay. I'm going to build it up, and they're going to like, that's it? There's 9 Kodesh Kedoshim that I let you down with the Noyach Teva, with the this. No! It's 9 Kodesh Kedoshim Sheshachtim Ba'Daroim Mo'elam Bem. Oh! So we go back to this chart over here. You take an oila, and instead of shechting it in the green, you shecht it in the purple. What's the halacha? If you use it, you're over a meila. What happens when you're over a meila? You're using something Beis HaMikdash. So let's say, I don't know what, you used it for something. You have to pay 25% penalty to the Beis HaMikdash plus bring a carbon. Imalu lo yerdu. How many people here saw the video of Imalu lo yerdu? Only half the people. Okay, good. We're doing Chazari anyway, so we got to show it. Here we go. I'm making it louder. Here. You want to put it on here? Good. Boom.
אתה שם למעלה. אתה יודע שהבשר הזה טמא?
תקשיב לי טוב, אתה צודק, אבל אם כבר עלו, לא ירדו.
If it goes on to the mizbech, it doesn't come off.
נשתה בלילה, לא יורד. דם שנשפך, לא יורד, לא יורד. דם שיצא חוץ לקלעים, לא יורד. הלן, לא יורד. יוצא, לא יורד. טמא, לא יורד. נשחט חוץ לזמנו, לא יורד. נשחט חוץ למקומן, לא יורד. פסולים קיבלו וזרקו, לא יורד. ניתנים למעלה שניתן למטה, ניתנים למטה שניתן למעלה. ניתנים בפנים שנתנן בחוץ ניתנים בחוץ שנתנן בפנים
Half the Bachram are watching the Shiva, they're not watching the screen.
אם עלו למזבח לא ירדו
Givaldik. Okay, so then we're doing Chazariah. So we know the musag that if it goes up on the mizbeach, it doesn't come down. Even things that are possible sometimes, not everything, a lot of things. So kachi that was shechted in the south instead of the north, but if they go onto the mizbeach, they don't come off. Biboilu, and we asked the question, Yordu Mao Shialu. But what if you did take it off? You didn't know that Allahi Amaretz. We had a whole video of that. Came down. Do you put it back on? Rabbi Omer Lo Yalu. Rabbi says, don't put it back on. Rabbi Yisrael Yalu. So Mela Tiboilu Rabbi Tiboilu Rabbi Yosef. This is the same kind of idea because over here it went into the large Bama Gdoila, came out to the Bama Ktana. It's similar. Came off the mizbech, onto the mizbech. Big Bama, small Bama. Similar idea. Tiboilu Rabbi Tiboilu Rabbi Yosef. So we have a question in both of them. Tiboilu Rabbi Ad Kanli Kama Rabbi Lu Mizbech. Perhaps only Rabbi said it when it comes to the mizbech, but not into different areas, right? We have going on top of the mizbech, taking from the top of the mizbech to the bottom of the mizbech. Then we have another question, going into the large mizbech to your private home mizbech. Two different things. Rabba is the one who says that if it comes off, you don't put it back on. So he said this on a mizbech. Why the chazile mikadesh, the lechazil loy mikadesh, something that's appropriate to go on. Like shechting it in the north is appropriate. Shechting in the south, it's not mekadesh. Al mechitza avagav delichazile kolta. Maybe the room, the fact that this mechitza is around this big mizbeach, maybe that's the chapsit. Or dilma afilu Rav Yosef. Perhaps Rav Yosef says that it goes up onto the mizbeach if it came off. That's only mizbeach. I can only go Rav Yosef also melo the chad mokamu. The azara is one place. The trema koimos. Over here you have outside. It went from your backyard into like the place where the communal mizbeach is back. So it's two different places. Doesn't work. Perhaps there's no difference. So we don't know if according to Rav Yosef is like this, according to Rabbis like that. We'll have to wait till Mashiach. Something that's simple to Rabbi Yosef in one way, but Rabbi Yana had a question. Every the limbs of an oila that come from a private backyard that went onto Mizbeach and came off the Mizbeach, what's halacha? If the fire never grabbed onto it, like the barlach, it's not a question, it doesn't go on. The fire already consumed some of it. Then he had a question, takeaway, he didn't have an answer. Itmar. Shchitas laila bebamas yochid. If you shecht at night in your own backyard, in your private bama, Rav Ushmuel, this machloikis, the famous Rav and Shmuel. Who is more chashav, Rav or Shmuel? Rav? Mechetesa, who told you? So what? Older. But eventually Shmuel got his age. Okay, so how do you know Rav is more chashav than Shmuel? Because it happens to be Rav was much more chashav, but Rav gave him a klala sort of because he was upset at him, and his kids, Shmuel's kids, died, and he felt bad, so he made him as chashav as him. He brought him up, but they always fight throughout Shas. They always fight, but Rav was the gadol ador. Rav was the biggest. Rav is like a Tana. Rav Tana will probably is the last Tana, the first Amoira. So Rav and Shmuel have a machlokes. Chadom akshera, chadom psula. Again, if you shecht in your own private backyard at night is a kosher apostle. We don't know who says what. We know it's a machlokes. We're coming back to Rebbe Lazar, and the machlokes is actually in a Rebbe Lazar. What Rebbe Lazar Rami Kroya Dadi. Rebbe Lazar asked a question, a contradiction in the psukim. Ksiv. Vayomer begatim goylu elai. You should roll out this stone. In other words, Klai Yisrael, when they came back from the war, they went and they were makriv karbanos, but they didn't throw the blood on the mizbeach. So Shaul told them, King Shaul said, "Bring a stone right here. Let's make a bummer right now and throw the blood. We gotta do what you have to do." וכסיב, והיום ישאול פוצו בעם, ואמרתם להם, הגישו אליי איש שורר ואיש סייהו, bring the shard, the seh, ושחטתם בזה, ואכלתם על יסחתו, you'll shecht, you'll eat, you shouldn't sin. Hashem, lechal adam, to eat without doing zrika. V'egishu kolam ish shorer biyadai, and here's the nekuda. What does it say? Halaylo. V'yishchut sham. So, on the one hand, we're saying that you can't shecht at night, and now we're saying that the pasuk says halaylo, you could shecht at night. Mar mishani kam b'chulin kam b'kachim. Whoever it is going to say that when it comes to your own, I saw them shechting at night. You go to a shlachta, you shecht at night. What's the problem? There's no limit. You can shecht the carbon at night. No kaparas, don't they shecht in the middle of the night? No, schulin. Kam b'kachim, but when you're talking about in the Beis Hamikdash, it has to be during the day. Umar mishani kam b'kachim ba magdoila. In a ba magdoila, communal mizbeach, it has to be during the day. Kam b'kachim ba magtana, you could even do at night. Itmar, oilas ba masyachid. The oila that goes on a private mizbeach in the backyard, we should have shown that beautiful, the Hasidic guys playing tennis in the backyard. What is going on here? Let me see. First of all, here's a bama, because they found a bama that looks mamish like this thing. This is based on what they found. This is being makriv. I'm just looking, I'm watching this for the first time with you. That's Nesachim. Oh, you're supposed to pour it in here. When do you pour the water, Rabbi Isai? Only on Sukkot. What's going on over here? He's in the Mishkan. It looks like he doesn't have a klisharis. He's using like a psa. Do you need to pour water on a bama? Like this guy? No. Yeah. This is Agasha. Oh. Do you guys know what this is? What is this? No, I don't. That they know. We're going to get there. We're going to get to the Balimum. Hold on a second. I'm assuming nobody here has ADHD, and that's why you all know about this. Gewaldig. Oh, Rav Omar into nefesh. You don't have to skin this animal if you're bringing an oil into your backyard. You have to take off the skin like you do in the Beis Hamikdash. Even if it's oily, you take off the skin. You don't throw an animal with the skin on. The argument Rabbi Yossi says that in the midbar they didn't skin it. Only from the oil moed on. Mar Savar doesn't matter. Even in your backyard, you have to skin Mar Savar in loy. Okay. In your backyard, you don't have to skin. What's the difference between a private mizbeach and a communal mizbeach? Keren, you remember this one? What are all the things here? Look at this mizbeach over here. So it has a funny bottom. You saw it. I don't like that one. It has a soivet. What else does it have? It has the horns on the top. What else does it have? It has the ramp. Look at that ramp. Geschmack. I would have paid $1,000 minimum for a video like this 2 years ago. And I used to pay that kind of money. It didn't even come out half as good as this. It needs Keren, the horns on top. The kevesh. What's a kevesh? The ramp. V'yisoid, the bottom part. Viribua, it has to be a square. Let's watch Trump here for a second. You need all these things in the communal. You don't need it in the Bamgdan. Kior, you need to wash your hands. V'kanoi bebama gdoila. V'nkir v'kanoi bebama ktana. Kanoi means the base of the kiyar. Chaz v'shoik bebama gdoila. We saw the chaz v'shoik before. It's parts of the animal that you put on the mizbeach. You give to the kohen. Chaz v'shoik bebama ktana. Things that are equal. There's no difference. Shchita, of course, you have to shech even in your own private backyard. Shchita bebama gdoila uktana. Both. Hefshet v'nituach b'gdoila uktana. It says mefurish like Rabbi Yochanan. You have to remove the skin even in a private mizbeach. Dam matir. Dam is the final avoida that allows you to eat the animal. Umefagel, Rabboisai. Who knows what pigul is? Huh? You guys have trauma from it? I hope you're all joking with me. Does anybody not know what pigul is? Explain to that guy what pigul is. No? I've always explained to him quickly. No? What is it? Chutz zman. What does it mean? That the kohen who's doing the avodah, or the Yisrael in this case, is thinking to himself, oh, here we got the Hasidic guy. This is Stam. My ADD just kicked in. What kind of car is this? This is a bum in his backyard. It's tchailas. He's a modern guy. Love it. All right. One day we should be to have a bum on a basketball court and a tennis court. I'll get the zach.
Hey, I told you, don't mess.
Okay. So, pigul is that you could only eat a carbon for 1 day or 2 days, maximum, right? What carbonates you eat for 1 day? Kachi. What carbonates you eat for the most part? Kachi kalim, you can eat for 2 days. So if the person shechting the animal thinks, I'm going to eat this animal in 3 days from now, he ruined the whole animal, the whole carbon is garbage, throw it out, he's mefagel, and if he eats it, he gets cars. So, I have no idea where I'm holding. Oh, mefagel b'gdoila uktana, this pigul even in your backyard. Mumim! Oh, we're here by your favorite video. But my favorite video is coming up soon.
למה באת לכאן? כאן באים רק חולים, ואתה בריא לחלוטין. למה אתה חושב שאני בריא?
Why do you think I'm healthy?
יש לי ADHD.
ADHD זה לא מום, ואתה צריך להיות קורבן בבית המקדש.
נראה לי ששברתי את הרגל.
Okay. Mumim, Uzman. What's Zman, Rabbi say? How many days you're allowed to eat this carbon? The G'doila Uktana, that applies also to your backyard. We're almost done with the Masechta. Rabbi says, coming up. When it comes to leaving it over and the time that you're allowed to eat a carbon, and if you're tamei, you shouldn't be touching it. Shavim b'zeh b'zeh. Ktana G'doila. How do you know that in your backyard you're also only allowed to eat it for 2 days or 1 day? You take this out, we'll read it anyways. Omer Torah law and Yisarv, big Yisarv, ma pigu possible bama, aflam possible bama, iklach deus. The Omer Torah law and Yisarv, v'yaytzi Yisarv. The Torah says that if you leave over the meat overnight, you gotta burn it. And if it goes out of the Beis Hamikdash, you gotta burn it. Ma yaytzi kosher b'bama. There's no outside in a bama in your backyard because your backyard is outside, so there's no inside or outside. If you take it to your next door neighbor, it's not inside or outside. So there's no yaitze when it comes to bama. Flon kosher b'bama. Therefore, if it's left over, it should be kosher at night if you leave it overnight. V'lav kavachomer ma'oifos. Ooh, daf kuf chafam and beis. Look at this. We have a kavachomer. Ma'oifos shein amun poisel bem. Zman poisel bem. Huh? Let me ask you something. Is there anybody here that's a mumcha in all the AI videos that we show, but nothing, he doesn't know any of the Gemara at all? Everybody? Talk for yourself. You're the only one that raised your hand. Anybody that's the emes, but who's too embarrassed to raise his hand? My sponsors, our boys that you read it together. Adar Global Special Experts International. It sounds like what? It sounds like Ataras Nadarim and Rosh Hashanah. Encore Healthcare. Nur our boys say. Yes, Sophia Steinman, Ariel. Oh my. Mazel tov. My fashion amun poisabem, zman poisabem. By a bird, there's no such thing as a mum. But there is such thing as mechuser aver, with missing a limb, but not a mum. Zman poisabem, you can't eat more than whatever time you're allowed to eat a bird. You're not allowed to bring an animal that has a mum, a broken leg, on your backyard mizbeach. And it didn't, zman poisabem. Ma loivish can ein azor koshabem. You know what? I'll tell you. Not a kavachomer, because a bird, a Yisrael can't shecht it. But in your backyard, even a Yisrael, all of us, besides our menagin over here, Zor kosher, we're all kosher about that. Lo yizman poizaba. So Mela, maybe you could eat it 5 days later. Hold on, before we finish, I gotta show you this video. Here we go. No. Here we go. You ready? You need some volume here. You got volume?
Yeah. 119 Duff, we put in the work. Kabbalah's recap with no time to lurk. There was fire, there was smoke, it was real. Now it's all over. What is the deal? Close up the BBQ, pack up the gear. We are history now, making that clear. No meat, no breads. Oi, it's a pain. Bye-bye, Zevachim. Hello, menachot. No more steak, we got pans and pots. No more knives. No shchita today, just the kamitza. That is the way. Step aside, move back. The era is done. The solet is here. I'm the
It's flour, though, menachos.
Everything's white, everything's clean. No cigarette smoke, no blood on the scene. No blood on the hands, just oil and spice. Mikabo meracheshet, precise and nice. Yeah, let's see you handle the wine for Naski.
Come on, tell me what it is. Was it good? It was good? It was good? Valdik. Hadran alach Zevachim. Hold on, we're not there. They said it, not me. I didn't. Toima bebabak tana shazor kosher bo lo yeh zman possible. Amadoima v'zois toyer zevach hashtomim. Lasi zman b'maktano kizman b'magdoilo. Hadran alo poras chatus eslichilo mesechtes Zevachim. Hadran alo poras chatus eslichilo mesechtes Zevachim. Hadran alo poras chatus eslichilo mesechtes Zevachim. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at mdydaf.com.